Make sure you don't miss a thing. Go to starzology.com/newsletter and sign up. Welcome to the Starzology Astrology Podcast. I am your host, Alison Price, and I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Arwynne O'Neill.
Hello, Alison. It's great to be here.
So nice to have you once more. So in this episode, we're continuing on our aspect series.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at Mars's aspects.
Love it.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the well, not every combination. We're going to go through many combinations and how to interpret planets and aspect when they are aspecting Mars.
Yeah.
I took a long way to get to that bit. And we're going to perhaps look at them with the main Ptolemaic aspects, I think.
Yeah, just the major aspects.
The major aspects. And how Mars aspects show up in your chart.
Yeah. And this is specifically for natal analysis. We're not going to get into Mars and relationships or anything like that. That will be another episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, or transiting Mars, that's another thing.
Yeah.
These are all just if you have these aspects in your chart, what it means.
This is it. So, I mean, everyone's got a Mars. Most people will have a couple of Mars aspects. I know you do. I know I do. But I don't have that many. I don't think you do either. But most people are going to have some Mars aspects, and that's really what we're talking about.
Yeah, and they, depending on also how strong Mars is in your chart, will be like if it's a really close, tight aspect, then it will be powerful regardless of the placement of your Mars. Mm-hmm. But if you have,
and what would you call a tight aspect?
Oh, it depends really on the aspect. If it's a conjunction, I think go 8.
Right.
But obviously anything below like 2 is really tight.
Yes.
And then like for squares and things like that, for trine sextiles, I go like 6.
A little bit. Okay. Yeah. A little bit of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
But certainly the tighter the aspect, the more influential it will be.
For sure. Yeah. And I like to, when I look at a chart, I like to look at not just the grid of aspects, which is super important and really it actually helps you see, how busy is each planet. You can look at it, the multiplication table where you can see, oh, wow, there's tons of stuff happening with your sun. Or if they're color coded, you can see, oh, right off the bat, like there's a ton of trines or there's a ton of squares. And that's great. But I also like to look at the list done by strength.
Yes.
That's, I think, one of the most useful, especially if you're a beginner and you're like, what do I focus on? Oh my God, there's so many. Well,
because this is really a part of basic natal astrology, right? So,
if you put them in order by strength, then you're immediately seeing all the really tight aspects right away.
Yes.
And then you can focus on the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah. Good Lord. Yes. But in general, Mars's influence in a chart is some keywords for Mars in general would be.
We like to say it's what gets you off the couch.
Yes.
It's where
I like that
your
one.
Passion, your urge to take action rather than waiting for something to happen. And it's kind of like where you feel effortless energy, where your energy is easy to draw upon.
Right.
And
because mythologically, Mars was the god of war. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. The Roman god of war and the counterpart to Ares in Greek mythology. Right. So they're basically the same god.
I always imagine Mars as the gladiator.
For sure.
And we saw that movie with
Russell
Crowe.
Yeah. Peak Russell Crowe.
So that is Mars to me.
Exactly. Yes. Generationally, your mileage may vary. You may think of him as Wonder Woman's, delinquent dad from the Wonder Woman movies, or a bunch of other things. But yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah. So it's a very active planet, and we'll get into it. Yes.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think we in modern era, especially for maybe our younger listeners who are like, well, God of War, that sounds a little violent. Why are we glorifying that? Well, the Greeks and Romans really did. I mean, they were an incredibly hyper-masculine societies, and their idea of the ideal man was a warrior, a gladiator.
The perfect human male.
Perfect specimen, yeah.
And now we see it in our bodybuilders, right?
Exactly, yeah. Our bodybuilders and our the fireman calendars.
The fireman. Oh,
my goodness. That's a gladiator. That's a modern gladiator. And that's firefighting. If you think of even the etymology of it, like that's what could be more Martian than that. And there's nothing, there's unequivocally nothing negative about a firefighter. They are doing the terrifying thing for rescuing people. There's
got a big axe.
A big axe to hack down the door or whatever to rescue the
I believe it's actually called
inside.
That thing they carry is actually called a halogen bar, apparently.
The axe is called a halogen bar.
It's not technically an axe. I was informed of that the other day. I thought, well, there you go.
That's fancy.
I know. That's a word for your crossword.
I know I've told this story before, but one time when my partner was cooking steaks for us, and he is an amazing cook, we do have this very badly placed smoke detector, which is right outside the kitchen. Thank goodness not in the kitchen, but it's right outside the kitchen.
Mine's in the kitchen.
Oh, no. Well, yes, exactly. But the steaks were being seared and causing a great deal of smoke. And so we opened the door to our apartment, and we do live in an apartment. And instead of just our smoke detector going off, the external one in the hallway went off. And that immediately triggers the fire department. So even though we called downstairs,
and the evacuation island.
No evacuation. No, we called the front desk and we said, it is just a steak. Please call off the dogs. And they were like, well, it's too late. Once the hallway one goes off, you can't, they were like, next time, keep your door closed. But the firemen arrived.
I know.
With halogen, halogen bars in hand. And of course, they'd seen this all before, so they were not surprised. And we offered them a steak, and they declined politely and left.
Right. Yeah, very Martian.
Very Martian. Yes.
Gosh, I'm dying to see how Mars is represented in his chart as well. Because I remember that day, because I thought, good God, the fire alarm's going. And I thought it was the restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, we have one of those cook your own, barbecue your own Korean barbecue. Wonderful place. A lot of fun for if you have guests in town or whatever. But yeah, they do catch fire a couple times a year. So
and I just got to get the door because I can hear them saying blah 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 in the passage, and I'm thinking, what? And he says, no, don't. It's a not a
false alarm or
false alarm. That's what he said. I thought, fine, went back to bed. But I mean,
exactly, it was a little bit late. I apologize for that.
I know it happens to anybody. I tell you.
Nice.
Great. So let's have a look at some then Mars aspects. So
So we're going to just go through the actual aspects, conjunctions, trines, etc. In the past, when we've done aspect episodes, we've gone through sort of every combination. And since we've already done the Sun through Venus,
and Saturn, because for some reason we're doing them out of order. Even
jumped ahead and done Pluto, but we're going to just go at it a little bit different this time. We're going to just go through the aspects. We're going to give a bunch of examples for each one. So you'll hear a bunch of the different combinations, but instead of just plodding through every single combination,
cookbooky. We're not cookbooky, are we?
Exactly. No, we're just gonna.
We're steak stereotypes.
Steak stereotypes. Exactly. That's a tongue twister. Okay. So Mars conjunctions.
Yes.
When you have a conjunction to Mars and any other planet, as you do.
I do.
Yay.
I do.
This, I think it really will just supercharge whatever that planet's energy is. And it will fuse together the energy of Mars with whatever planet that is and make those two act as one, which is what conjunctions do.
Yes.
Especially the closer they are, the more it does that.
Yes.
And yeah. It's like they're two instruments playing the same note.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So it becomes this rich and harmonic sound.
Yeah. So this is what we're saying, that Mars will energize the other planet to get it off the couch, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I actually have Mars conjoined Venus, and it's quite tight. It's 3 degrees-ish.
Nice. That is really close.
So Mars is energizing Venus. So what can I say? She said, looking at her art supplies on the table,
Right, exactly.
If we're taking Venus as art, which we will today because it suits me.
In some interpretations, they say that makes for someone who's impulsive in love and spending. Would you say that that's accurate?
It's yes.
I mean, I suppose it depends on what sign it's in.
Yes,
but they're acting as one. They're not, some people.
I won't mess about when I was younger, when I was dating and that. I wouldn't mess about. I wouldn't say give him another chance. It was forget it. No.
Yeah, you're not.
You're in or you're not.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing, I would say more. And again, with spending, I do know what I want. And I've done the odd impulsive spend now and again. Nothing major, but
nothing crazy.
I've bought shoes when I didn't really need another pair, but haven't we all?
And, well, I believe you also do have Mars and Venus in Virgo.
Yes.
So that will definitely ameliorate that tendency.
Yes.
If you have Mars and Venus in Aries, your mileage may vary. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't imagine, really.
No.
But yeah, so this is someone who is not really, especially in relationships, they're of one mind. They're not the kind of person who is like, oh, this guy is like got all these qualities, but this guy's got these. No. They know what they want.
No, absolutely not. You're either we're on or we're not.
Yeah.
And you 1 foot wrong, boy, and you're at the door. You look at that waitress too long, and there's a problem. Yeah. No.
Right. Yeah.
I just feel that there's you can't muck about. Why should no?
Yeah.
So
that's a noble.
Is it okay? We'll take a noble thing because really, we'll see.
Who wants to waste their time? You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste their time.
Yeah, I could never see myself in a relationship where I'm hanging on for 3 months thinking, could this get better? I would never go there. It would, So
I totally agree.
She said unattached, but maybe that's the ruse. But anyway.
But after being very happily and successfully married for decades.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so another couple of examples here.
Yes.
I mean, so Mars conjunct Mercury, for example. This would be someone who speaks with conviction, perhaps, impulsively speaking, but always with passion and always defending their ideas as if they were, a part of them. And that's could be a good thing.
Yes.
Depends on their ideas, I guess.
Yes.
But
strong language.
It's always good to know what you want to say and be able to say it forcefully or forthrightly, depending on the idea.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then Mars conjunct Saturn, for another example, would be someone with an incredibly iron will, like a very disciplined and
that is a huge combination.
Someone who's just running
solid,
like entrepreneurial maybe, or just incredibly dedicated and responsible person who can forge ahead even when it's difficult.
Yeah. Stay the course. That's when you've got, what is it called, the marathon and the sprint come together.
Yeah.
It's like fortitude.
Excellent visual there. I love it. Totally.
Fortitude. I was hoping to slide that word into the conversation tonight.
Well, how could we not when we're talking about Mars? Goodness.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So next we would talk about trines. That's the natural progression. Trines the Mars trines make for an effortless energy output. So whatever planet you have a trine with, Mars makes it easy for you to assert your energy, and it feels natural and well integrated in your chart. It's not going to be something that is super noticeable unless it's like the closest aspect ever.
Right.
The trines are like that. You have to really kind of know about them in order to make the most of them. It's not ever going to be like the thing that you feel most strongly in your chart, but it's going to be something maybe that other people notice.
Yes.
It's like, that they always seem to effortlessly.
It's a good thing.
If you have a Venus trine, they're so put together. If you have a Mars trine, they always seem to be able to have the energy to do their workout or,
Will you do? Yes.
Whatever that is. That energy, that drive, whatever planet is touched by that Mars trine is gonna create this sort of that's not a problem in your life.
Yes. And I think you're right there that the onlooker sees more of the game, because people looking in on someone who perhaps does have Mars trines, which you actually have too, you do seem active and well, you definitely are.
Yeah. It's also a really optimistic, I think.
Yes.
Well, trines are always optimistic, but since Mars is, it's got that martial quality. So if there's and we'll get into this with the difficult aspects, that can make for someone who's kind of, kind of cranky or kind of excitable or quick to flare up in temper. But the Mars trines are really, it's about confidence and charisma and an easy exchange of energy. And it's just a more flowing kind of thing,
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So your trines.
Yeah, my trines. I know I have one with is it Mercury?
Mercury and another one with the sun.
Jupiter? Oh, is it the sun? Well, yeah. Okay. Because I do have that Mercury sun conjunction.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lovely one. I mean, two. Yeah. I'm pretty happy about those. Yeah.
And you are active. I don't know if you always were, but I look on you and you're active, you're fit, you get out and about and you do, you get off the couch.
I do. I spent about 10 years on the couch, but I was very
But once you got off it,
when I was younger, and then I spent halfway between my 30s and 40s not being active whatsoever, and then I got back into it and never looked back.
And even today, it's, you know.
Yeah. Even while I was on the couch, though, to be fair, I did have 2 jobs, and I had a very thriving gaming hobby. So yeah, so I would be just working, you know, nonstop from home and very ambitious,
from the couch,
ambitious on the couch, and then switch over to, you know, fighting aliens and whatnot.
But I do think this Mars trine sun gives you this optimism, this happy, I don't say happy-go-lucky attitude. You're never moody, you're never grumpy, you're always kind of upbeat and
I don't get grumpy. I get testy sometimes.
Okay.
But, you know,
well, I never see that. I always see you smiling and optimistic.
Usually it has something has to trigger it. Like, oh my gosh, like I know I've complained a few times, even, you know, on the podcast about when I had to change my email address and you know, things like that. Like just the annoyances of life. Like I get a bit more annoyed than you know, is probably necessary about those things. It's like, no, why is someone making me change? Like, why do I have to do this? And then I get irritated. But it doesn't depress me. It doesn't, you know, it just
you're not that nuisance. And I think this Mars trine this Mercury, which is, as we know, is your strongest planet, and we know you're a writer.
Yeah.
And it really does drive your writing, your articulation, your vocabulary ability, your punctuation.
Oh, I am fanatic about punctuation.
I bow to your superior knowledge. But, you know, and you are still productive. Mars is making you productive as a writer. You're putting out, 2,000 words a week? Or whatever it is.
Yeah. And then writing for a living as well.
Writing for a living.
Wow. Yeah, that creative output, that is a gift of Mars.
Yes, definitely. It absolutely is. So we see that quite clearly there in your chart, right?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that because they're both trining, which is a good thing, you know. It's very optimistic. And
sure.
I would imagine you'd be good at things like, you know, kickboxing and
I have tried kickboxing actually. It was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Then
it's a winter activity. You know, it's like when you can't go out roller skating or biking or, you know, whatever outside, like I like to do. It's one of those things. Yeah, I tried that with my best friend. And of course, famously, I know I've talked about this as well. She's a Taurus. And so her sun is right on my Mars. So she's the one who gets me off the couch a lot of the time. She'll be like, let's go for a walk. Let's go kickboxing.
That is fantastic.
Let's get, you know, tickets for this event. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Yeah.
You're out and about more so than you were 12 years ago. Yeah.
For sure.
No, that is great. So that is one expression of, and we see it in you. We could talk confidently about it, of Mars trines in somebody's chart. I don't have a Mars trine, but you definitely do.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing. Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this is also just a couple more keywords about these. I think this is like grace under pressure.
Right.
That's a really good keyword for any kind of Mars trine, and making challenges easier. It doesn't make them easy necessarily, but whatever the combination is, it makes those challenges in life easier, whatever that planet represents that is trying.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Yeah.
Mars trine Venus, for example, your relationships are just a little bit easier. If you have Mars trine Saturn, the bureaucracy in life,
it's bound to
business of life, doing your taxes, whatever, that Saturn stuff is just easier.
Yeah.
A little easier.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah.
It's a good one. I highly recommend.
Great. Well, that's Mars trine. So yes, go check your chart and see if you've got any of those, because they sound wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where do we want to go next? We want to jump into...
Should we do the sextile next? Because that's also the soft one.
Yeah, let's do that. So this is it's kind of a milder trine, but it's also got a bit of a spice to it. I like to think of it as kind of like, it's kind of a sexy trine. It's like a little bit spicy. It's like a trine, but it's just a tiny bit spicy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cooperative. It's alert. It's kind of a builder aspect. It helps you be, I would think, kind of productive. It's a little more active than a trine. A trine is a little passive, a little flowing, a little, you might not even notice it, but you'll feel the sextile a little more in your charts, you know, considering if it's a stronger aspect.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any sextiles in your chart?
I don't.
No, I will put my hand up to Mars sextile the moon.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, again, it's quite a delicate little.
Yeah.
What was it? Spicy, you said?
Well, I mean, it can be spicy. I don't the moon.
Maybe not. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that maybe comes across in your parenting style, or
Perhaps.
in your, in your.
Yes.
Yeah, like
organized, definitely.
You have how many children?
Four little darlings.
So my goodness, that's, I mean, more than average.
Yes.
And you were, I believe, rather traditional mother, meaning that you cooked for all.
I cooked 1,000 meals a year, Arwynne.
So that's
for years.
I mean, that's not effortless. That's not like a.
And I never cook now, but yes.
but so that's exactly, it's a little spicier than a trine, where maybe that would have seemed effortless, but
yes, that's a good idea of the mothering style. Yes, I would say so, definitely.
Yeah.
Organized.
And you don't seem like the type who would just be like, no, we're ordering pizza a bunch of times. No, you're fending for yourself.
No, can't let them loose in the kitchen. No,
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Well, there is that. Yeah. So, and again, if we look down to my emotional side, I take a long time to get up to a full steam, but one day they come, and then it's hell. Yes, because by the time I've worked up to this level, of annoyance, I will definitely. Well, everybody will know
exactly, and that's another charm of that sex style is that it causes it to be a little like less friction until it gets to the point where it's like, okay,
I'm not volatile at all, but you keep going and keep going and keep going. It's
everyone has a breaking.
Yes, exactly.
For you, it's maybe a higher bar.
Yeah, well, I would like to think so. I mean, I've stood around and people are going berserk about things, and I'm thinking, what is the problem? But some things will get me, and it doesn't happen often. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's an excellent thing. Yeah.
So Mars sextile Moon, I mean, it's a good one. It's not a problem aspect, and that's really one of the good things about it.
Exactly. I think these aspects they offer opportunities for growth, because they're not effortless, but they do engage.
Yes.
So it's an engaging and productive kind of aspect to have.
And I do think, I often say, I've got to be in the mood, and then it's a different day. If I'm kind of in the mood and I've got the hair in that thing and I'm on that, and people will say, Alison, I didn't know you could look like this. I said, I've got to be in the mood, and then it's no holes barred. Yeah.
And also, I mean, whatever interests you, like if something actually interests you and speaks to you and moves you emotionally, then you will put a bunch of effort into it. So, I mean, and I can see that just looking around the room, at your art, at your astrology, at the things that actually mean something to you, your children, obviously.
Yeah.
And, those are the things that you're willing to put in a lot of effort and
True. Yeah. I'm not dispersed with my efforts. It's quite,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just a couple more like random examples. If you have Mars sextile Uranus, for example, this would be an amazing aspect to have if you are in any kind of innovative setting. If you
scientific or something.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll find joy in just having some clever breakthroughs or finding like an ingenious solution to something.
Right.
And that might come easier to you than others. And if you have Mars sextile Venus, that would be similar to a trine, but just a little bit more
socially smoother.
Yeah, socially smooth, and those the act of having to go and meet people or God forbid be on the dating apps is just a little bit more effortless for you, or it's a little more fun, maybe not effortless, but maybe it's a fun kind of, you could kind of gamify it,
and, imagine,
and stay awake to those possibilities, whereas other people might be like, oh God, I can't, like I would be.
Me too. I could never. No.
Yeah. So that's the sextile.
That's great. So we've done the two soft aspects, which is good. That was the trine and the sextile. So let's have a look at some of the more challenging aspects.
Yeah. So Mars squares.
Right.
Yeah. This is definitely like the warrior pose kind of thing. Like even when you do the Rosie the Riveter stance where you've got your you flex the biceps. It makes a square like shape, right?
Yeah.
It's an L shape with your arm. So it's the it's tension, it's friction, it's never going to be comfortable. And it's definitely going to be something you notice in your chart. So when you come to an astrologer and you say, I can never seem to be happy in my job, or I'm never happy with my relationship with my parents or my kids, or why can't I just, stick to a workout schedule or diet or whatever? Those are squares. The squares are the things that you
cannot ignore them. Every day you're tending your squares.
Yeah, exactly. But that's why it's good to know about them.
It is.
Yeah. So for example, since we've already talked about the Mars Moon sextile, if we had a Mars Moon square, that would be someone who is emotionally volatile, potentially.
Yes.
Moody, definitely. And could erupt at any minute, and is always wondering why is someone else always setting me off? Why can I not get along with anyone? Why? Yeah.
Why are you pressing my buttons?
Why are you pressing my buttons?
Triggering me?
Why do you make me so angry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not just partners, but friends, relatives, people at work. This is the person who's constantly coming home and just complaining about people who they work with and why.
And the bus driver.
Yeah, exactly. It can have a good side. Obviously, every aspect can be. It's not like you're cursed if you have a difficult aspect, but you would want to look to the other aspects that, especially the moon makes in that case.
Yeah.
Where is that tension? Where's that tension being expressed and ameliorated? Like what is softening that aspect? Do you also maybe have a moon sextile somewhere that's that is what's the word? Like a pressure valve releasing that tension, because there's always going to be something else. You're probably not going to just have a Mars square moon and that's your only moon.
No, exactly.
You'll have something else.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we all know people who are just that volatile, right? Who, don't get along with people, and it's always everyone else's fault.
Yep.
And
Right. Do you have any Mars squares?
I do. It's a Mars Jupiter square, though.
Yeah.
That's not to be like, okay, because it's me, but we've always said this about Jupiter. Jupiter, you don't really have bad aspects with Jupiter. There are things to like watch out for, because it can make you overly optimistic or overly outrageous in some ways.
Well, I've seen some of your costumery.
Well, yes, I do love a costume. I do love to go all out at the drop of a hat, really. I mean, Halloween, burlesque, pretty much any.
It really is on the edge.
Summer, okay, therefore I need to have like bright pink hair, and I need to,
Clearly.
Yeah, there's no excuse too small for me to
And it does make you distinctive. It makes you distinctive.
Yeah, well, life's too short to have a natural hair color.
Clearly. No, but that's great, and it's what's the word? Ambulant. It's
ambulant.
It's living life to the full and saying, to hell with you. I'm living my life, and I think that's who you are.
Oh, for sure. I mean, even my badass goddesses thing.
Exactly.
It's not just goddesses; they're badass goddesses.
Yes, because Mars is there, and he's the badass.
Yeah, exactly. And if for anyone who's like new to the podcast, that would be my art that I do. You can find me at mspink.net, and we'll have links at the bottom of the podcast. But yeah, that's been my art for like the last several years. I love to investigate mythologies around the world and find not just, the Venus or the lovely fertility goddess,
little elves.
No, I like to find the ones who are like
with the poisoned
the ones with the sword, the one who's like the battlefield crow in Irish mythology, who's like haunting the battlefield, and the men see her and they die of fright, or the demon from Balinese mythology who is represents the constant fight between good and evil, without which there would be no meaning to goodness.
Right.
All of those things. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've got you to thank for.
I love the fact that in every mythology on the face of the earth, I mean, maybe a few exceptions, but there are not just like, big, powerful male gods and shy, retiring, lovely goddesses.
Cinderella sweeping the hearth.
There are also these incredibly badass, strong fierce, entities and goddesses in all the mythologies of the world, which is, I think, kind of wonderful. Even though, yes, of course, sexism and patriarchy and blah, 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 but also,
But aren't you yourself embodying that?
I certainly hope so. I like to think so.
Yeah. And right there, Mars square Jupiter.
Jupiter.
Yeah. With no pardoning of it. You'll just,
Yeah. I mean, so we talked about like one of the most difficult ones at first. I mean, Mars square the moon is a difficult one because the moon is the moon is a sensitive planet. And so if you have Mars square moon, you're always going to feel like it's those close relationships that hurt you the most.
Right.
You're going to find that you're just in conflict in ways that you wish didn't happen in life. I think Mars square Venus is a similar one.
Yeah.
But Mars square like Mercury or the sun, I mean, I think that's just going to really enliven. You might not always make people comfortable.
Energized.
But you're going to be noticed. You're going to be energetic. Yes. You're going to be active, and you're going to be speaking your mind.
Yes.
And that's an awesome thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of the above.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So that was the Mars square.
Yeah. And then we have the opposition.
Right.
So oppositions are, out of the two, I think actually that squares are harder, generally
Well, they're
speaking.
internally harder, yeah.
Right? Because it's always at crossroads. You're always it's like if you're at a stoplight and you can see the other driver if you're in opposition. And also you're going to be in the same, not modality, but what is it? It's like if you have a Mars in Virgo, for example, and it's opposite something in Pisces, those they're in the same modality. So exactly, it's not as conflicting.
But you could, with the oppositions, you know who your opponent is.
Yes.
With the squares, you're your own opponent.
Right, and it just blindsides you. You can never quite see where it's coming from, or you're never quite comfortable. Right. You can never just go, okay, that's my weak spot. You're always going to be surprised by it in some way. and with the opposition, it's you can kind of integrated a little bit more comfortably, I think, than a square. But it's still a conflict. It's still tension.
And it's conflicts with others, too.
With others. You project. I mean, because all of this is
It's not my fault. If he hadn't run the red light, I wouldn't have had to get out the car and punch his nose.
Right.
But it's his fault that I had to do that.
Exactly. And why does this always happen?
Exactly.
Right. But of course, since this is astrology and it is psychological and it is natal astrology, whatever conflicts exist in your chart, you are going to cast someone else in the role of the opposing force. You are going to attract people to you who create conflict in these ways over and over again until you learn to integrate it, or
others challenge you. Yeah,
exactly. So there's this conflict between, do you have any oppositions? No, and I don't think I do.
No,
either.
You don't. No.
But so Mars opposite, let's say Mercury. This is someone who is constantly finding themselves in arguments with people,
putting their foot in it.
Or speaking, out of turn. And suddenly, they make some kind of off-color comment about a certain religion or a certain political group, and it's like, oh, the guy right next to you at the bar is like, oh, what you think this or that, or you're a snowflake, blah blah, and you're like, oh no, now I'm in an argument at the bar with some dude I don't even know. Yeah, and that's Mars opposite.
Or you're in an HR's office, and next thing you know, you're on the street.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Let's just hope if you're doing that, it's at the bar and not at work. Oh my gosh.
But that person is still going to say it's quite obvious, and I was right.
Yeah.
But it's still. You get chopped for it. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, I think we've all known people who are just constantly getting into these conflicts.
Yes.
And you're like, well, gosh, did you need to say it so loudly? But they do.
Yes.
And for some reason, there is always that person. There's always that person that's going to call them out on it.
Wow. Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so here's another, we haven't really talked as much about the outer planets, but Mars opposite Neptune.
Right.
An example of someone who, they blur the line between action and imagination. They could inspire people, but they could also inspire people to delusion and to ruin, emotionally speaking as well, because we know there are tons of podcasts and influencers who are just doing nothing but riling up anger and trying to get people to...
They actually call it going negative, where the content creator is saying, and this is a problem, and this is a problem, and you need to blah, blah, and they're stirring up the fear.
Yeah. But people love being angry. That's another thing. And this, it's almost like our entire world is on this like Mars and Neptune opposition train at the moment. But that's the algorithm too, because anything that riles you up and makes you look at it is going to, that counts as a win for them. Even if you're not liking it or you're not, engaging with it in a positive way. If you engage in it, you comment and you're like, well, no, this is, why are you, it's got you.
That's right. And I think this week too, at the time we're recording this, we've got Mars opposition, Uranus is coming up this week, which is, and it only happens every 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's actually one where the markets are hit, the financial markets become challenged as well. And globally.
Because markets are all about sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah. You with me or you're not? Or what's that saying?
You're with me or against me.
That's it.
And then people feel the world's insecure, or they pull their money out of the thing, or
they're scared that AI is taking over and they're going to lose their job, and all this fear mongering.
Or some CEO said something that everyone's finding offensive, and they all sell their stock in whatever that is.
Imagine,
or buy stock in some other thing, and
so you've got that going on as well. And although that is the transit I'm just mentioning, but you do get that challenge of that week. The week in the year or every 2 years where this Mars is making that challenge there.
Yeah, totally.
And if it does connect into your chart, you will feel it. You will.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Super interesting.
Yeah. So, oppositions can be integrated, as we were saying. There are ways to stop feeling like you're constantly being fought, with from outside, and realize that it's, the battle is really internal.
Yes.
You can integrate
to be worked through with an astrologer, maybe.
Exactly. And you can find ways to, use positive outlets, and then you become, one who kind of dances with the challenges and integrates them in a dynamic and productive way.
Yeah. And this is one of the benefits of having your astrology chart read, whereas if you have a very challenging aspect, such as a Mars opposition, whatever, the astrologer can express that with you and you can understand how it's playing out. And also that it's more about awareness that you have this in your chart and you can deal with it better then. But when you are randomly just shooting bullets left, right, and center, you're not understanding why, having an actual chart reading is a benefit, because you can see, this is my challenge. I understand what you're saying and I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And awareness is the good thing here.
Yeah. And this is one of those things where, even though I'm always trying to save people money and do it, here's the easy way to do it. If you're just reading a bunch of paragraphs about your chart, that's not going to help you to actually know how to redirect energies that are difficult or that are challenging. But talking to an astrologer, it's almost like talking to a psychologist, where they can say, okay, where do you find this playing out in your life? You're not going to get that from a book or from a website, but you will be able to talk to them and say, okay, well, I find definitely my most, conflicting things are at work or in my relationship or with my children or whatever. And then, okay, so that would be something with the moon. And then you can see where the moon is also aspecting. And let's find some ways that you can swing this around to something positive.
Yeah. So this would be a better outlet of that energy.
Exactly. And how are you getting out your, negative energy? That's another thing with Mars. Like, how are you actually able to burn off those energies? Are you kickboxing? Or are you cooking? Or are you doing some kind of artistic outlet or a workout or whatever, those positive ways of burning off Mars energy that maybe you won't then come home and just let loose on your partner, your poor long-suffering partner or people at work.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's right. You're quite right. Yeah. So additionally, when we're looking at Mars aspects, we really need to also consider how well placed is Mars within your chart.
Yeah.
So for instance, if it's your chart ruler, and that means, do you have Aries rising or Scorpio rising, Mars will be strong. If Mars is actually placed in the first house or the 10th house, or conjunct the ascendant or conjunct the midheaven, Mars is strong.
Yes.
If Mars is conjunct the sun, Mars is strong.
Yeah.
And these factors play in as well. But if you've got a very quiet Mars, such as I do, and Virgo, you've got yours in Taurus, we've got quiet Marses because of their sign placement. It will not be as obvious as others. But if you have Mars in either of its two signs, which are, if you've got Mars in Aries or you've got Mars in Scorpio, Mars is going to be at full throttle for you.
Yeah.
And burning on all cylinders. cylinders.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really important planet for you in your chart. So you do need to consider that as well.
Yeah.
When looking at these aspects that we're talking about to Mars. And it's deciding how well is Mars placed or not within your chart. Also, if Mars is retrograde, it is definitely weaker if that's the case in your natal chart.
Interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Yeah. So not all, as you say, not all aspects are created equal. You do have to give a fuller assessment of its placement and, of course, everything else that's going on. But as you were saying earlier, when you're just reading a straight-up cookbook, Mars square Jupiter, you're only getting one message. You do need to look at get a cohesive interpretation.
Yeah, for sure. So here's I'm going to throw out a couple of random celebrity examples.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's always fun.
We love our celebrity examples.
So we all know who Lady Gaga is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she's got Mars in Capricorn, which I believe that's exalted. Is that? No? Yeah. And she has she's got Mars conjunct Uranus and Neptune. And opposite her ascendant. So, I mean, someone who is clearly a fiery person, a creative person, a flamboyant person, and unusual and evocative.
Breaks the rules.
Wearing a dress made of meat to the whatever gala it wasn't the Met Gala, it was some other award show, but my goodness. Yeah. I mean.
But what a voice.
Incredible voice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just incredibly creative. And also, calling her fans, what is her, gosh, yeah. Okay. So, but her little monsters, I think, something like that. And that's a very Mars conjunct all of those things. And there's just this little cluster of Mars, Uranus, Neptune.
Fantastic.
I love it. And it's just across her ascendant. So
full blown.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very much in there.
Not to be missed.
Not to be missed. Exactly. I remember when I first heard of her, I was kind of, a little bit outside of the music, whatever. It was like, just, whatever. I saw her on the cover of Rolling Stone and I was like, who is that?
I know, because her outfits.
And I was like, wow.
Her outfits are spectacular.
And talk about transformation, like becoming a Oscar nominated actress and making music with Tony Bennett and all of these wonderful,
I still love that Bad Romance. I mean, it's still
I love that song. That's one of my favorites.
It's huge, It's huge. It will definitely go down in history, that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, that's a great celebrity example.
Yeah. So another example is Denzel Washington. He's got Mars in Pisces, which I believe is not the strongest placement, but it is part of a grand trine in his chart, and it's actually part of a double grand trine. Mm-hmm. So it is trine his, let's see, Uranus-Jupiter conjunction.
Whoa.
In Cancer. So this is a water grand trine. Mm-hmm. And it for an actor who has such a depth of empathy and charm, and who really, I don't know anyone who just, I hate him. He's no one says like, I can't stand that guy. Like,
no, of course
people
not.
Just respect
What's
him.
the other planet in the trine?
Oh, yeah. And it's a conjunction of the Sun and Saturn in Scorpio. So this is, it's almost like a quadruple grand trine. Like, talk about.
And his career has spanned 40, 50 years.
Decades. And everyone he's worked with says he's wonderful. Mm. He's worked with everyone from like little teeny weeny Dakota Fanning in Man on Fire, which is an amazing movie. Everyone, like accomplished actors of his age and older, and just brings a wonderful light and empathy and craft and dedication and
amazing
virtuosity to every role he's in.
Well, what a powerful grand trine with 5 planets in it.
Crazy. Yeah. Wow. That's a really great example. I love that one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
And for a third celebrity example, Elon Musk. He has Mars in Aquarius, and it is square Jupiter. So that's one thing I have in common with Mr. Musk.
Wow.
Yeah. And it is also square Neptune, which there's a difficult aspect, and we can talk about that a bit more. Mm-hmm. But it is also conjunct his North Node.
Wow.
So someone destined to bring his bold ideas to the world.
Go to Mars.
Destined to go to Mars. Oh, my God. Yeah. And to...
against all the odds.
To be well known and to be someone who really causes people to, at first, he was beloved and everyone admired him and thought he was a genius. And now he's very much on the opposite end of the spectrum. A lot of people still respect his genius. I actually respect his genius, but he says some things that anger a lot of people. And
he can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants. He can do anything. He's a billionaire. He's the richest man on earth, et cetera, et cetera. But it's also one of those things where it's like, would the world have been better without him? Probably not, and we never know how he'll reinvent himself, because that is definitely something that he's
it will never end.
Continued to do.
It'll never end.
Yeah. So it's interesting that he has a very active Mars. And from what I'm seeing, really no soft aspects to Mars. It's all
challenging.
Oh, that's not true. He has a Mars trine Venus.
So. Okay.
so relationships have come and go for gone for him. And I don't know if his wives would say that he's super easy to get along with, but maybe
who knows? Yeah, but the Mars conjunct the North Node is interesting because that's the destiny.
Exactly.
The destiny. Absolutely. Yeah, all planets conjoined the North Node are destined to be effective in your life.
Yeah. And just the sheer volume of the relationships he's had, and having so many children, and that trine, it is easy for him, whether it's easy for the other parties or not.
I don't know. You never know, do you?
No, but the output. Yeah.
But he's changed the world. Yeah, this is the thing. It's not there's nobody alive who doesn't know who he is.
Exactly.
Because of what he's done.
Yeah.
Going back to starting with PayPal, which was like radical at the time, but
And to be fair, I'm not going to talk about houses here too much because it is B rated on the Rudden scale.
We don't have a time for him.
Yeah.
No, maybe we don't. There is no time for him, but we still got the chart. Yeah,
for sure.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been great. We've been talking about Mars's aspect. We've had a little chat about what Mars represents in your natal chart. We've gone through all the 5 Ptolemaic aspects, the conjunction, opposition, trine, square, and sextile, and we've given several examples, mainly from me and Arwynne, because why wouldn't we? Mm-hmm. And then we've also got some celebrity examples that Arwynne's dug out, and given some indication of how you can approach Mars as an interpretation when you're doing an interpretation for a natal chart. So if you have found value in this episode, please do consider sharing it with anybody who would be interested. Make sure you're getting our newsletter, and you can get that at starzology.com/newsletter. That goes out every Sunday. And make sure you're getting Arwynne's newsletter, and you can find Arwynne at...
I'm at mspink.net. That's mspink.net. And I send out a newsletter every Saturday about goddesses and art and books and personal stories.
Yeah, it's a great read.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us and getting this far, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks so much for getting this far through the episode. I just want to take a moment to tell you about the 2 main options of my astrology services. So the first one is coaching. If you are an aspiring astrologer, and by that I mean someone who's perhaps a hobbyist astrologer, or someone who's learning astrology, or a student, or you've got a few books and you've been doing it for a while, but perhaps you need a little bit of help to bring it all together, then maybe getting some astrological coaching from me would be the answer for you. The astrology coaching I offer is a 1-hour session on Zoom, and it's tailored to answer your particular questions. For example, if you have issues with natal chart readings, we can go there. Or if you're having problems working with your forecasting, we can go there. Or even basic astrology stuff, or even getting yourself organized for your astrology business. The idea is that astrological coaching will answer your particular questions. It's tailored specifically to you and where you are in your astrological journey. And I'm happy to help you out with some guidance about how you can get going, what to focus on, and what to dismiss. So that would be the astrological coaching for people trying to learn astrology. The second astrological service I offer is consultations. So this is for someone who perhaps doesn't know anything about astrology, but they just want to have their chart read or get their chart done. Call it what you will. So once more, this is a 1-hour consultation over Zoom. I will interpret your chart, tell you about the main features, tell you about where the energy is flowing, and all the rest of what is entailed in a thorough natal chart interpretation. I can also add in some forecasting in there too, bearing in mind we only have 1 hour. So just in summary, I've got coaching for people who want to learn astrology, and I've got consultations for those who want to get an astrology reading done. I'm Alison Price from Starzology.com. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.